Order accepted.
Step 2 introduces micro or unit control into your game. After step 1, you should be very comfortable with building the basic structures and producing units. When you add micro on top of macro, the result is multitasking. Your goal in this step is to multitask to your limit. Control all your units to the best of your ability while not missing a beat in production. Since micro and multitasking are such a huge part of Starcraft 2, none of the other restrictions have changed from step 1. Just adding micro should be challenging enough. It's time to learn what you can do with zealots and minerals. The extent to which you can micro units is nearly infinite. To start, we'll go over the most common ways you can get some extra mileage out of your unupgraded zealots. Targeting is the most common way you'll be microing your zealots. Set your life bars to damage so that you can easily see weak units on the battlefield. Whenever possible, target the damaged units of the enemy and pull back your own damaged units so that you can gain an advantage in the battle. Dealing with ranged units will be difficult on this step as the zealot is a slow, high hit point melee fighter. To combat this, pull your opponent in different directions to tax their multitasking. Micro a zealot in the mineral line and target individual units with different zealots to prevent your opponent from exploiting the zealot's weaknesses. Remember that in a melee versus ranged micro battle, the ranged player is the one required to expend the most APM. By creating as many of these micro situations simultaneously as you can, you increase the chance that your opponent will make a mistake. Ramps will likely be the #1 challenge on this step. Zealots need surface area to be effective. Ramps and choke points decrease surface area. Add in a wall at the top of the ramp and some ranged units and prepare for frustration to set in. This is your opportunity to begin to develop one of the most important skills you will ever learn in StarCraft. The ability to remain calm in the face of difficult obstacles. Your StarCraft journey will be full of these moments, times where you run into something that seems impossible to deal with. Just remember to exercise your creativity. Even with this limited set of tools, the variation in games is nearly infinite. There is a solution to the problem. All that is required to find it is time and focus. You should come out of this step with an increased capacity for creativity, patience, and emotional intelligence. Make these qualities your goal and you will be on the path to becoming a more powerful StarCraft player as well as a more powerful human being. Multitasking is one of the defining characteristics of StarCraft. Not only do great players implement micro techniques perfectly, but they also keep up with the macro elements. To the untrained eye, it might seem like the pros are macroing and microing at the same time, but this is not the case. They're just going back and forth between micro and macro so quickly that it seems that way. This is accomplished by taking advantage of gaps where no action is required. For example, when you build a zealot, there's a large gap before it is time to build another one. Use this time to micro a little bit. Whenever you retreat or when an attack move is the optimal way to engage, check your production to see if it's time to queue up another zealot. Soon you will begin to find more and more of these moments in-game and how to take advantage of them. Use step 2 as a time to focus on building good habits like checking your production frequently and moving on to the next action as quickly as possible. Remember, win or lose, your goal is to pass. Upload your replay to ggtracker.com and check your benchmarks. If all of your benchmarks meet or exceed your league goal, you have passed. When you've passed 4 out of your last 5 games, it's time to move on to step 3.